Have you ever considered that in our search for purpose and meaning in life, a search of every human being, of all of humanity, we are actually not searching for answers? Here's an interesting idea. Stay with me for a minute. What if the answer has already been given and it's in front of us? And in our search for meaning and purpose, we are actually supposed to be searching for the right question that makes sense of the answer. What if God is that answer, and everything that God touches, and everything that God offers us, and everything that God creates is actually the answer to the meaning and purpose of life? And in our search for that meaning and purpose, now we are invited to ask the questions, to search for the right questions, to know what questions to ask that lead us to a sense of balance in understanding what is in front of us, what has been presented to us. It's an interesting idea, but one that I think is worthy of reflection. On the Feast of the Transfiguration, that very important event in the life of Jesus, we have something incredible. Jesus offers to his apostles, Peter, James, and John, the answer in revealing his divinity to them. He's offering the glory, the fulfillment, the end result. And now they must find the questions. What does this mean? How does this shape my life? What is it that God is inviting me to do, given that I have seen the glory of God, the answer to all of my desires, to my purpose in life? I find it interesting that when Jesus presents to us the answer, he's also presenting to us the pathway that we must follow. Jesus is not only the one who does and saves, but he's also the one who leads and shows and teaches. He reveals the glory of God and the right questions to ask. Our human nature is to desire greatness, to desire glory. The problem is that we often do it in a way that is not beneficial to us. We think we can achieve it, we can somehow work towards it. But Jesus shows us a different path of achieving greatness, the true path. And that path is by seeking suffering, by seeking the lowly place. We are actually going to, at the end, achieve greatness, the fulfillment. Because greatness is not something that we create for ourselves, but it is something that is bestowed upon us by the answer of the universe, by God himself. Look at Jesus and the disciples in the event of the Transfiguration. When they see the answer, the glory revealed in Jesus, what is it that they want? They want to stay there. They want to leave behind the suffering and difficulties of daily life, and they say, can we build 3 tents? Can we stay here? Can we just cling on to this glory? And Jesus says, no, my pathway is we must come down the mountain. We must move away from this glory towards the cross, towards suffering, towards reality of this present day. Because only in clinging to the opposite of that glory, of that fulfillment, only in clinging to the reality of suffering and doing good for others, can we then be lifted up into true glory that only God can bestow upon us. My friends, as we end this season of Epiphany and begin to enter with the church the season of Lent, Jesus teaches us that the right questions to ask is the pathway to experiencing the glory, the answer that is right in front of us, God himself. God bless you.